YouTube, what the crap's going on? Welcome to Gilgallian's Rest. We're going to be playing an FFA. I was in this one. It was from my multiplayer streams. I do these usually on Tuesday. It's not every Tuesday, but when I do these, it's usually on a Tuesday. And basically, if you want to jump in, join the stream, we're there at about 8 p.m. US Central, and we'll just play some fun battles. And this was one of those. So I was up against Maxbin, Jim, Zero, and Hayden's Phone. And I'm going to be playing as the Beastmen in honor of the upcoming DLC. At the time, I didn't know that the DLC was going to be Beastmen, but I was just playing hoping that it might be. And sure enough, that's what we ended up getting. And right away, this thing's going to get crazy. I'm going to be... so first of all, let me slow it down for a second. My army is meant to be kind of a meme. I've got Malagor being able to summon a Cygor. I've got two Cygors, one of which is the Eye of Morslib. I have a Giant. Then I have a couple of Minotaurs, Gorbulls, a couple of Gorbulls, and then a Razor Warherd. So I have a tiny elite army, and as is typical in many FFAs, my viewers for some reason want to attack me. I can't imagine why, that my lame jokes and crazy videos lead them to want to destroy me in battle, but you know, hey, it's all part of the fun. I'm going to be attacked by the Tomb Kings here, led by Archon, and he's got his... Necrosphinx, the Sphinx of Uskef, a Necrotech to support it, a Hierotitan, a couple of Hex Wraiths, and then over here I'm also being shot up by 4 Glade Riders with Hagbane tips. And we've got the Sisters of Twilight. There are a few units here, some Zotes and Eternal Guard, and then a couple more Winterheart Guards, Eternal Guard, Zotes. Chaos being led by Zero has Archaon and a pretty decent cavalry contingent, lots of Marauder Horsemen. And then the Swords of Chaos and a standard Chaos Knight. And then as for infantry, I got some Chosen back here in the back, so going mostly elite. So should be a fun battle. That's the 4 players for the most part here. I mean, there's a little bit more here in the back for the Tomb Kings, but it's mostly just Skeleton Spear infantry. Let's hit play, see how this goes. I'm going to be in a bit of a rough start here, as the Elves are going to be basically able to get free points off me, and quite a lot of them. I'm going to do my best to try and keep them off of me by hurling rocks at their archers, but I'm obviously about to be quickly assailed by the Tomb Kings. I'm going to send in my Minotaurs to help slow down the Sphinx of Uskef. I do have Devolve on Malagor, which should help me in dealing with these Hex Wraiths. I don't have a lot of magic attacks outside of that, so Devolve will have to be my go-to. However, I didn't have enough magic to use it during this first attack, as I had summoned another Cygor in an attempt to try and distract and help keep the Horse Archers at bay, so the Hex Wraiths are going to be able to cycle out and come in for another attack. Now, the upside of this is that I'm going to have the opportunity to get quite a few points. The downside is that Zero is also going to get quite a few points, as his Chaos Forces have discovered these Wood Elves out here, and are going to basically be able to utterly overwhelm and destroy them, since they're caught out with most of their forces kind of spread across the map by Hayden's Phone, maybe hoping to get into a couple of different engagements. But at the moment, I'm doing okay. We're in first place. I'm getting a lot of damage done on the Sphinx of Uskef, which is definitely handing me some points. And the next time the Hex Wraiths move in, I am ready with my Devolve, so I'll be able to get it cast. But you can see I'm taking some Spirit Leech here on my Cygor. And quick jump out in points, but I'm also taking a lot of damage. And being the last man standing is going to be incredibly difficult, because Chaos started way over here. They're getting a 1-up on the Wood Elves at the moment. You can see these Zotes being put to rest by the Chaos Knights. Zotes are an anti-large unit, and they're pretty tough, but getting singled out like this, they won't be able to perform. So Zero is quickly closing the point gap and putting himself in an excellent position to be the last man standing. Whereas, although I'm jumping out to an early point lead, I'm going to be at risk of basically burning out here. So there's my Devolve. So I'm able to put the Devolve on there. It's getting me some extra points and helping to take a bunch of hit points off of the Hex Wraiths. And with all of the Tomb King units up in here, this is probably my best option. My poor Eye of Morslib hasn't really gotten to contribute a whole lot to the battle, because the Horse Archers have been very effective against him. He's a rather large target. He's a little hard to miss. Meanwhile, we've got Archon and the Hierotitan up in here, and I'm doing my best to fight them back with my giant beast army. But we are going to be overwhelmed by numbers and eventually put down. So at this point, it's basically just score as many points as I can score. Let's go take a look at Chaos, see what they're up to. Chaos is still moving across the battlefield, but you can see taking their time to mop up the Winterheart Guards that were placed before them. And so that is the second grouping of infantry that Chaos has now found, and they'll be able to surround and destroy. Getting Zero again some very nice points here, and he's not giving up a whole lot of points at the meantime. The Eternal Guards catch him. They just won't be able to stay in this fight long. We're going to see probably a burning head here. Yeah, he's just going to utterly wreck. Yep, so there you go. Zero catches up essentially on points, but he's still got an army left, whereas my army is doing quite well considering what it's up against, but it is reeling. I'm trying my hardest to get more devolves out here from Malagor, just to get as many points as I can. I'm maintaining a very tenuous lead at the moment. Hayden's phone is starting to collect some more points as he does damage to me from range. And then Max Ben Jim is also getting a lot of points because despite me doing a lot of damage to him, he's doing a lot of damage to me. So it is mutually assured destruction. But you know, the Beastmen like some good old-fashioned destruction. In fact, that's probably what they revel in, so I don't think they're going to be upset about being in a fight. I feel like they're kind of like the orcs in that regard. They're just not really all that upset about being in a big fight. Unfortunately for me, that fight is coming to an end. I've only got a single Gore Bull left, and then Malagor, who, like I said, all in all has done a pretty stellar job, but most of my monster units are being chased out. Let's take a look up here. The Sisters of Twilight are either going to be attacked. Is that a fireball going to be shot at them, maybe? I think it was. They got on the move. I don't see the fireball actually flying this way. See the Wood Elves here emptying their ammunition into this fight and getting what points they can. I mean, it's actually a pretty narrow spread at the moment. It may not seem like it, but there's not a huge difference between first and last place here. Hayden's phone going to catch up with an attack on Gorbull here from the Sisters of Twilight. They should be able to rack up a few more points there. And then a burning head from Archaon, though, really gets some nice damage done for Zero, who reclaims second place there. You can see it's pretty close between Max Ben Jim and Zero. And that attack right there is going to be pretty critical. Archaon cleaned out a ton of Tomb King chaff and basically opened the door for him to definitely try for the last man standing. I'd say he's got a good chance. That did open up the Realm of Souls, though, and the Max Ben Jim summoned in his Shabti right on top of the Marauder Horsemasters, which was a very nice play. However, those Ushabti probably won't be able to hold together their leadership for very long, so they're getting torn apart. Malagor routed and was forced out of that fight. I'm just kind of hoping to get enough Winds of Magic to drop another Devolve. At this point, Zero is going to be quickly catching me in points, even though he's fighting Tomb King units that don't necessarily have a ton of value. He does have the Hyro Titan still. So, I mean, there's definitely still some value to be had. I did manage to get the Devolve off, and going to do some damage to all the units in here, which were in range. But then the Sisters of Twilight bring in a cheeky attack on Malagor, looking to get Hayden's phone further up the board. So I've done just about all I can do, and I'm going to be knocked out of the fight. And at this point, it's looking almost certain that Zero is going to pass me. The real question is how the fight comes out between him and Max Ben Jim. Archon is in some pretty rough shape in here. Archaon is pretty healthy. They do have a Hyro Titan to contend with, but the Tomb King chaff is mostly gone at this point. You've got the Swords of Chaos, and whenever they're around, this Exalted Hero and Archaon are going to be getting some nice physical resistance. So Zero takes the lead, and Max Ben Jim's units start to stall out here too, and what they're capable of doing. See here their units going down. The Hyro Titan soon to follow. These Chaos Knights and heroes chipping away at it. It's not even swinging right now. I don't know. It's like some kind of... Maybe it has an attack order somewhere else. I don't know what's happening. It's like almost glitched out here. He's like not even doing any damage, so that stinks for Max Ben Jim. But great for Zero, who now has a pretty solid lead. I'm not out of the fight entirely because Malagor came back, but I will be now when the Sisters come and finish him. So that's going to pretty much be my point total here, which means that I definitely cannot get first place. But we'll see how the points turn out. Zero is definitely in a commanding position here. You can see the Hyro Titan now actually trying to get some attacks now, so Max Ben Jim may gain a few points here. Yep, see mine are now frozen in. See how this turns out. If the Hyro Titan dies quickly, I might have a good shot at second place. Not that places really matter, but I'm just calling it. Yep, there goes Max Ben Jim's Hyro Titan, so he gets frozen. And now that leaves a final fight between the Sisters of Twilight and some of their now out of ammunition Glade Riders. So you all see this. Chaos, though, still has some javelins left. Not many. But the Wood Elves go ahead and admit defeat, knowing that they really can't defeat Archaon there. And that's pretty fair. I mean, they could have fought it out, but, I mean, there was definitely no way the Wood Elves were going to win that one. So let's go take a look at the value here on some of the units, just kind of get an overview of the battle. Zero did a good job winning this one. 429 kills on Archaon, probably in large part due to those burning heads, which did a spectacular job. He got 4,566 value, which is insanely good. So big boss performance there from Archaon, who is indeed this time the Ever-Chosen. As for my army, Malagor did pretty decent for his cost. The Gore Bull, one of them did okay, the other one a little less than what he needed to hit his value point. Minotaurs with great weapons did pretty well, and then my other Minotaur with great weapon did poorly. The Giant did fairly well, and then I wasn't able to do much with my Cygors. If we go to Max Bin Gym, Archon doing a pretty decent job. The Hyro Titan did okay, but I mean it cost quite a bit more than that, so it probably needed to get some more value to really be worth it. And the Sphinx of Uskef, however, was mostly stopped from getting as much value as it could. And then we go over to Hayden's Phone, the Sisters of Twilight, doing some good damage from the air. Pretty decent value out of the Glade Riders, honestly, and not terribly expensive units, and some pretty good damage value off of the Glade Riders with Hagbane tips and the Glade Riders. So good performance from them by Hayden's Phone. I had no answer to them, so I got absolutely shredded. I probably should have brought a couple of Ungor Raiders just in case this exact scenario, but I mean, it's not like those units would have lived long, so it is what it is. Anyway, had fun in this FFA. Thank you to the players who joined me, Hayden's Phone, Zero, and Max Bin Gym. And if you want to join me, make sure to keep an eye out for my streams. We typically are streaming on Tuesday and Thursday. Occasionally I'll switch the days, like I will be streaming today when I'm recording this, which is a Friday. But I'll notify you all on Discord when I'm going to do that, and feel free to join that Discord if you want to stay notified. Anyway, thank you all. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will see you soon with some more action.